What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Poet Q back with another video, man. And today we're doing another music review. I think we only got like 5 projects somewhere in that bracket. I know it's been kind of a minute since I dropped one of these, but I wanted to slide back in there and get back to it. So I want to take some time out to thank whoever's coming back, already subbed and everything. And I want to shout out to y'all. If this is your first time watching, man, make sure to hit that sub button, man. We passed 100 and we're on a strive for 200, so let's get it. All right, so the first project that we have is Motown by Moe Carter. Uh, I'm gonna start off by just saying that I think that the project is super cool. I think the only thing about this project that kind of gets lost is overdoing certain things. I'm saying doing certain things that kind of you want to just be more creative about it, but then it's like, all right, now you're doing too much. I'm saying, and that's not in like a disrespectful manner or nothing like that. It's just more so along the lines of it's there's a such thing as doing too much on a track. You know what I'm saying that where it's like okay, like it's too much going on. You know what I'm saying, but fuck it. Let's start with the opening song, "Crown Me." I feel like it was a good intro, just because I feel like it kind of sets the tone for the project as far as the energy is. I feel like it's high energy. You can kind of just you can feel the way the project's gonna just withstand throughout the entirety of the project. So for me, that was kind of hard. Going into Beekman Road, one of the issues with that was the verses, and it's kind of something that's kind of repetitive through the project. I don't know if it's maybe the mic, the filter, or whatever the case may be, but it sounds kind of muffled. And I don't really know as to what could be causing it, but it feels like that. When I listen to it, like someone's kind of like covering their mouth while they're talking, and it's not super hard to hear, but it's definitely affecting the vocals. Then we get into WTF. The first verse. Well, I do want to say the first verse is stupid hard. The second verse, I feel like as far as the mixing goes, it could definitely be a little bit different. He sounded super far away from the mic, so just something with that. And then we go into Don't Slip, and see, Don't Slip was a little bit more controversial for me because one, I don't think that like the theoretics the theatrics that are theoretics the theatrics that you're doing in the song are kind of needed. Like the way you're doing the chorus, like I feel like it's kind of off putting as far as the song goes. I mean, it doesn't really sound authentic to me. It sounds kind of forced, and like I just feel like it kind of takes away from the song itself. I think the verses are nice though. I think that you and Bryce Mills definitely did good on the song, but my only thing is, and this isn't something small. This is actually something that like it's bad. Like I don't, and I'm not gonna say the word, but you shouldn't say the F word. I don't care if it's real life or musically. That shit is offensive. I can't sugarcoat that for you. You shouldn't say that shit. It's offensive. It's homophobic. You know what I'm saying? And I don't fuck with shit like that just because I feel like everybody deserves to live their life how they desire, and I don't really care the meaning as like or the context that it's used in. I just don't feel like that's something that should be said at all, and it is said in here, and it can fuck up literally your whole business. It can fuck up your music. It can make people not want to listen to you. And outside of that, you know what I'm saying, people could take offense to that, you know what I'm saying? And I never stand behind someone saying something that can be offensive to somebody. If it's something like a bar or some shit like that, okay, cool, whatever. But like if it's a derogatory like term that can really be offensive, I'm never gonna stand behind that. Even in music, I'm not one of those people who are like, if this was back in the day, don't care. They said mad shit back then that I feel is super questionable too. So if I'm keeping that same energy, you should definitely reconsider. I would say maybe taking this track completely off the project. Honestly, just for that simple fact, because um later in life that can affect you. You know what I'm saying, someone come through your old catalog and hear that, now you're getting a call. Now there's an issue. So that's just kind of my tidbit on that. Going into the next song, One Shot One Kill. I think it was a solid track. There was a beat switch. I think at around 220, 202. I would love to hear more grit in that. I would definitely love to hear more lyricism, more punches. You know what I'm saying? I feel like for that beat that you used, it definitely would have made more sense to have more punchlines in there. The only thing that I had like an issue with about the sample is there. I don't like you can hear the sample and it sounded great, but then there was like a ooh, like that was like stupid loud. That was like repeating itself. But outside of that, I definitely think that that song was pretty solid. Then we get back to back tracks that I really actually fuck with a lot. I think Wings was probably the best song to me on the project. Bro Godzilla went crazy on here, bro. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I really fucked with his verse. I fuck with your verse too. I actually love the instrumental, the beat. I think it was really dope. IDMU, that was another one of my songs that I really fucked with as well. The only thing that I didn't like about this track was the intro. You don't need to do that. I'm sorry, bro. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that at all. You don't have to do that. I think that as far as the last two tracks go, they're all right. I think Bender till December probably shouldn't have been on the project. I think that out you should definitely want to try to come with maybe a different a different outro, just because I feel like the energy in the project was really nice, and I just feel like it's like your peace out almost to a project, and I feel like your closing could have definitely been a lot stronger. So that's kind of just my take on that. And again, it's not to be offensive or anything like that. It's just what I hear when I listen to the music. And then we got into another project by Jay Dabber. His project, the Boombox mixtape. So kind of coming off this project, I went straight into this one. So I kind of got a couple issues with this project, just as far as questions that I kind of have, just as far as musical interest. But I'll kind of start through the track list and then I'll build my way into it. All right, so the first verse for Ghost, the first song, the chorus and the verse definitely needs to be mixed a little bit better. But I feel like that's kind of an overlapping problem throughout the entirety of the project. I definitely feel as if whether it be too low or whether it be the mixing is kind of off. I just feel like there's definitely a lot of work that needs to be done on there. On slow your roll, the vocals sound really low. It's almost as if you're whispering, and you can tell in certain points that you punched in at. And I think that as far as also falling under mixing, there should be some kind of work that gets put into where the transition from one punch to another punch isn't really tellable, whether you have to redo certain parts or you have to pay, like, make sure you give that same energy, because it's like if I start a verse where I'm giving all the energy I have, I punch out, or I cut something off because I fucked up or whatever, and I punch back into that same verse, but like I'm not giving as much energy or as much anything as that first track, is gonna fuck up the entirety of that. So that's kind of one of my things as far as that goes. I think Journey has the same issues that Slow Your Roll did. Spill feels like rambling. So I think that as far as that goes, it's one of those things where you have to find substance and you have to stick to it. Just as far as what you're talking about in your raps, and that felt like, honestly, what it felt like towards the entirety of the rest of the project for me personally. It really feels like a lot of this is freestyle from the yeahs and the A's, and not like in a way that it feels like an ad lib, but these are like in the bars, and I don't like musically. It's hard to digest that because it's like music is something that obviously I take super serious. So for me, it's more so just like a matter of, are you interested in music for real? And I know that seems like it could be an offensive question, but I ask that because in the midst of a project, I don't feel like I feel like you should take your craft as serious as possible, and you have to listen to this before you put it out. And I feel like as far as this project goes, I just feel like it's one of those things where it's like you don't freestyle on a project that you're about to put out, or you need penmanship. Penmanship is one of the most important outside of marketing and outside of networking. Penmanship is probably one of the most important things that you can have in music. And I feel like if you take that away, I feel like if you don't take time to curate that, if you don't take time to create the best pen that you can have for yourself, it's gonna fuck up the overall theme of the project. And I feel like that's kind of one of the big issues with this project is if you care about music, you will never allow yourself to get to a point where you play this back and you think to yourself like, I want people to hear this. And again, this isn't to be offensive. I believe in tough love and I believe in criticism, but my criticism to you isn't more so in a level of, I don't think that you have what it takes to be wherever you want to be. I think everyone has potential. I just think that, are you making the best out of your potential? Because at the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror, also listen to your own music and decide whether or not you feel like this is the best route for you to go. And my thing about it is that you have to listen to this. And if you can listen to this and honestly feel like that one of these could pop, or one of these could be like life changer for somebody, or one of these are one of the best songs that you ever put to a pad, then it questions your ear. And I feel like at that point it's more so just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to go about criticizing that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to go about talking about that. So that's kind of just my take on this project. Um, and again, I'm gonna probably say this throughout the entirety of this, just because I feel like it's important. I don't mean any disrespect when I say this. It's just how I feel as a listener. When I listen to the projects, because I listen to the entirety of it and I listen to back catalog, and I feel like that's important because I'm one of those people. I'm not gonna judge you off of one project. I'm gonna judge you off of the projects that you release. Um, the entirety of your discog. So let's say I didn't like your project. I would go back and listen to more projects just to see if maybe something was different. And sometimes I find that it is different with certain artists. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they might be experimenting with something. Maybe the thing that they were talking about, they didn't care as passionately as they did about the new project that they just dropped. So I'm still gonna listen to new releases and everything, but that's definitely something that maybe a dialogue me and you can have away from this. The next project that I want to get into is Ashton Martin, project Growth 4. This is a comparison that I wanted to make to you. I was gonna DM it to you, but I feel like it's better to say, I guess, on here, just because it's part of the review. Um, so my standout tracks for this project is "Grow Forth" and "So Much." I told you that I really like that song, but the comparison that I wanted to give you is you kind of have you have that same sound that I felt like Dizzy Wright did in Smoked Out Conversations. And what I mean by that is I feel like you have a lot of potential as far as your rawness goes, as far as far as your creativity goes. I feel like maybe execution on some of these songs isn't the best. Starting with Grow Up, I feel like Grow Up, I wasn't really feeling the chorus. I mean, yeah, the chorus, and I definitely feel like the auto tune could use some work. But then you show like a flash of like what you're capable of, and Grow Forth to me, like, I feel like it has a lot of potential as far as just the overall sound. You know what I'm saying? And I think that speaks to your character. I don't think that pop is more your lane. I feel like when you have an artist such as yourself, is going to be one of those artists who are real in tune with their fan base, and somebody who can get with artists on a personal level. And I feel like that's kind of what you excel at as far as the music goes. It's Real was one of the ones that I was kind of like, I mean, it's cool, but it's not one that I wasn't crazy about. Locked In, I think, was a solid track. I think that Number 5 was a solid one as well. So Much was another one that I felt like you showed a lot of position, a lot of potential on. And then I just think that overall, I mean, the outro is okay, but I think overall, um, I just think that it's more so about polishing your sound at this point. I think that if you can really hone that ability to be able to be relatable, and you really hone into that ability to speak on your pain as deep as possible, I think that there's a bright future for you, especially in the underground scene. Just because people care about relatability. I don't care what no one says about oh, rapping like this or like that. It doesn't matter how you rap. At the end of the day, you can pen some of the most simple bars, but if the overall subject matter what you're talking about is relatable, people are gonna want to hear it. That's just the truth, bro. That's just the simple truth. And there's always an audience for literally everybody. So I feel like if you hone that relatability skill that you have, I think that it's a real bright future as far as the music aspect goes. And then we get into Dark Kano. Why do I keep doing that? I keep saying Dark Kano. It's Kane Darko. Kane Darko's project, Bad Trip. So if I'm being like thorough, and I'm not gonna use my Q notes really, because I mean I listened to it like 5,000 times, so I kind of got a good idea where I'm going with this. Um, so here's my first thought, right? Like I listened to the project and I was like, man, like this is kind of far away from not far away from what I listened to, but this is I feel like where it was headed, just the overall the thought process behind it wasn't something that I was used to. So for me, it was like off my first listen, I was like, I don't like this, but I try to come back to it with an open mind. It's funny because I just got done listening to Metallica last night because I told myself I want to open my ears to new sounds. Because I tell you all the time, if you want to be the best artist you can be, the best person you can be, try to be open minded to different aspects and different genres or just different things in life. And my thing is I've been trying to get more into different music. So I listened to Metallica last night. I came back and listened to this project again, and I feel like my overall thoughts about this is that it's a good project, bro. Like it's crazy. It's a good project. I feel like the execution throughout the entirety of the project definitely could be a lot better. I feel like no, I can't name too many projects where I feel like someone correctly captured what it felt like to be on drugs. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be weed, shrooms, LSD, or whatever the vice of choice is, I feel like no one really captured it super cool. You know what I'm saying? Like in a good manner. But I feel like that's not the case on this. I feel like you did everything right, right? Even to lonerism in Seven, because I feel like at the end of the day, with those it felt like it was more on the come down portion of using drugs. So I feel like it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you have the hype ones in the beginning where it's like, oh, I feel like this, and then more towards the middle it's like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit's getting real, and now I'm down. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of just where I'm at with that as far as the project goes. But the first song, it seemed like as if it was kind of like early ASAP-ish. The second song seemed as if it was more Travis Scottish, and then you kind of get into the rest of the project. I think Bad Trip is kind of your own spin on everything, and I think that Bad Trip was actually super cool because if you listen to it, you have that like I can't explain it. Have you ever seen those Have you ever seen a movie where it's like they're high and they're moving, but you can see like 50 versions of them like moving, like swaying? I feel like that's what you were trying to capture in that song, and I feel like it was really dope. I mean, it could be executed a lot better as far as the mixing goes, but I feel like the concept of it behind it was actually incredibly dope. So I just think this project overall, if polished a lot more, I definitely think that it could be a really good project, for sure. And then we go into the last project on Spotify, which is Radio Killed the Hip Hop Star. Um, all right, so just honestly coming straight out with how I feel about this project. Um, One of my big things about music is the subject matter, and I just feel like with this project, I kind of got the same thing throughout the entirety of it. I feel like you can't, as an artist, your music can't be centered around other artists, and I feel like that's the problem with this project. I listened to each song millions of times trying to just look for something out of I think, was it 12 songs? It's definitely more than 12 songs. However many, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I was right. It was 12 songs. Out of 12 songs, I think two of them had subject matter outside how bad other rappers are. Two of them. I think What You Hear and Reminisce were the only two songs that were like talking about something with actual subject matter. But the rest of it was more so about, hey, you know what I'm saying, rappers today, they're not doing what they really say, or rappers not really, and you can't do that for the entirety of a project because what is that offering to the listener? Like, I don't care how other rappers are rapping. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't. There's a million rappers in the world. Not all of them are gonna be perfect. What are you talking about? And I feel like when you put out projects like this, you kind of shut off yourself from the rest of the world. If you decide ever in your rap career that you want to do a pop record, it's going to be hypocritical. It is, and I feel like I gotta say this to a couple artists because it's like y'all box yourselves off from opportunities in the future the more you separate yourself from music that's current. There's absolutely nothing wrong with current rap right now. It isn't. It's the music that you look for. You have lyricists who are pop, you know what I'm saying? You have them. Lyricism is still here in the music, in the flesh, at the forefront if you ask me, because people are asking for a Kendrick album. J. Cole just dropped. He's not outside of that realm as far as lyricism goes, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you're talking about melodic rap, you have that, you know what I'm saying? And if you're looking for artists who like lyrical all in your shit, you have those too. Logic is one of those artists. Fucking what's dude name? I can't remember what his name is. You have Eminem who's in that same, all of Slaughterhouse who's all still in that same bracket, you know what I'm saying? So for Joyner, that's his name, Joyner Lucas, he's still in that bracket, you know what I'm saying? You have Ransom, you have a bunch of different artists who still fit that narrative, and even artists coming up who still fit that narrative. It never went anywhere. Griselda is still in that same box as artists who are in the past. Corday. I can keep going. There's nothing wrong with rap today. So when you base your whole project around what artists aren't doing and what they're faking, it makes it hard for the listener because I don't care about that. I don't. Because I understand that that's not true. The reality of it isn't true at all. And you can center it around, okay, but the artists in Atlanta music is good to certain people. It's different crowds for different artists, you know what I'm saying? And once we separate that and we focus on the artistry, then you'll find if you're a true artist or not. But telling me in 400 different ways that artists now suck isn't gonna cut it. Like it's not doing wonders. That's not gonna make people listen. That's not gonna bring money in. It's not. There's nothing profitable about downing somebody else's art. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that in just a real way. You don't win from downing other people. There was nothing positive as ever came from anything negative, ever, except for, you know what I'm saying, if you think of it as like we found a disease, but then we made a cure for it. If you look at it that way, then cool. But if we're talking about real life force, you only fucking get what you put out. So if you put out mad negative energy, you're gonna get mad negative energy. And I felt like that's kind of what was riddled all over this. Was this y'all niggas suck, man? And okay, now what? If let's say I agree with everything you said, artists suck. Okay, cool. Now what? What else has been said on this project? What have I learned? I can't revisit any of this because at the end of the day, it's like if ten of the songs sound the same, I'm only gonna listen to the songs that don't. It destroys the replay value in reality. And if you did it on one track, cool. I'm never mad at an artist getting their shit off. That's cool. But when when you make the subject matter of the entirety project based around other artists, it's hard. And then you name yourself Radio Kill the Hip Hop Star. I feel like that alone will make certain people not wanna click onto the music. It's marketing, and it's so many things that just it takes away from the artistry, bro. So that's my tidbit on that. It take it with a grain of salt. It's not. I don't think that nothing I ever say is going to be just simply straight facts, but I definitely think that that's something to consider for sure. Moving to the next project, man. We got oh boy, I got it on the wrong side. My apologies. We have Welcome to Forever by Forever. So with this project, it was a little bit different. It's definitely a switch up in pace. I feel like there we go. All right. So with this project, you could definitely tell that this was influenced by modern rap as far as like Juice World goes. I feel like a lot of it had that kind of sound to it. Outside of mixing, vocals needing to be louder, I definitely think that it's nothing too bad. I definitely think that you have that melodic feel down pat, but the only thing that I would say musically that I would probably say you need to get away from is like repetitiveness of like one sound. Like you have to have diversity. If you don't have diversity, it's gonna be hard for people to want to listen to you just simply because it's no one wants to listen to the same song 5 times. And that was kind of like my take going into it. Just listening, and I don't think that the project is bad. I think that again, you have the ability to make melodic music. That's not in question. I just think if you're gonna make melodic music, you should find different formats of doing it. Like, there's a way of doing Bandit and doing just a whole. You can do Juice World, but you can also do X. You can also it's a lot of different styles and melodic. So I feel like if you find that, you hone that and polish that skill, I don't think that like there's anything wrong with the music that you're putting out. I definitely think that it's there for you for sure. But I definitely think that as far as the music goes, you definitely got to work on the diversity aspect of it, and definitely the mixing. The mixing was one of those things. This as far as being louder, mixing, because if you're gonna do auto tune is one of those things. It can sound really great or it can sound really bad, and you have to teeter that line really well, or it's gonna fuck up the entirety of the what you're trying to deliver. So, but that's about it. I think that's all the projects that I have as far as the music review goes, and I want to thank everybody who submitted their music. Even if it feels like I'm trying to talk to you guys in the aspect of saying, in a disrespectful way. It's not coming out that way. I want to actually see all of y'all do well. I want to see all of y'all be great. It's just sometimes, as far as the art goes, sometimes I can't be one of those people who are just a yes man, or I can't be one of those people who try to sugarcoat things, because at the end of the day, I feel like it has to be some realness in what I say. It has to be some thoroughness in it, and it has to be something that's taken away from it. So I definitely think that everybody in this lifetime has potential to be whatever it is that they want to be. It's a matter of being more accepting to what's being said. So regardless of how you feel about what I say, I'm super grateful for you guys taking the time out to submit music to me, and regardless of what's felt about it, I'm gonna always listen to your music. I'm gonna always check out more of what you have. I'm always gonna say my piece on that as well. And if you not surprise me, but if you put out some work that I really fuck with, I'm gonna champion that as well. So, and I'm gonna speak my piece on that as well. So thank you guys for submitting. If you made it this far, I really rock with you, man. Make sure you drop a sub down below. If you listen to one of these projects and you want to also give feedback, or you also want to let me know what you think about certain songs, definitely do that in the comments below. We have a Battle of Underground going on this Friday. If not this Friday, next Friday. We have 3 slots left. So if you as an artist are interested in taking part in the competition, definitely send me over some of your links. I have a new playlist out right now that's 1,000 plays and under. If your song is 1,000 plays, under 1,000 plays, send it to me. And you feel like you're an artist who deserves that recognition, send it to me. I'm going to check it out. And if it's hard enough, I'm going to put it on the playlist, man. No exception. That's all I got, man. So with that being said, love you and peace.
They told me don't aim too high. Seeing is believing. I'm a dreamer, dreaming of what I wanna be. They told me don't aim